Yo, what's good, Pulse family? You already know who it is. It is your boy Thesis back with a video. Today we're out, not in the studio today. I had a question that came across me, right? And of course, it's a question about AI and how I feel about it. Where do I think it's going? Why you don't do a lot of AI content on your channel, things like that. And I just wanted to address some of those things in a raw format, right? No edits, just straight raw, just talking to you guys. So one of the things first I want to start off with first is shout out to everybody that's been supporting the channel. Thank you so much for that. And everybody that's been coming through, dropping comments. Hopefully, like I always say, even in the comments when I talk to you guys, hopefully it's inspiring. Hopefully it motivates you and to be creative, because one of the main things that has my main focus for this channel is making sure that you guys are always inspired, motivated to be creative in your aspect, things that you like to do, right? And I'll say this, I don't have a problem, right, directly with AI. I'm not gonna make this a super long video. I'm just gonna get straight to the point. Like, it's not that I have a problem with AI, right? The main factor and issue I have is when you want to take AI and then put it in everything, right? And if you look at the wave of how AI has just like transitioned into every single thing that we do, like, don't get me wrong, in a hybrid sense, I think it's very good. Like, for how back in the day we used to have Encyclopedia Britannicas, like, I'm telling my age, but like, we used to have encyclopedias in the homes, and you had to use those things to look up stuff, or like when it advanced, and then you had the internet and you had to use that in a sense of form. So don't get me wrong, I understand advancement, I understand technology always getting better, right? So in that sense, the hybrid sense, I think, is awesome, right? It's when you take AI and then you use it in an incorrect way. Meaning, when you have, like, say for instance, I'll just throw it out, Suno or Udio, and you have to teach the AI in a sense of learning specific things, right, to get the information that it has, which means that it's coming from human content, period. It's coming from human content. It's not just generated from information, and some of it is generated from information from the past, but even with that, right, in a musical sense, like, you're getting that content to then make content off of something that's already been made. So it's not even original in a sense, right? Because it's been generated from something else, not of its own creation. So, I'm not saying that, like, again, I don't have a huge problem with AI. The problem for me comes when you have people who take AI, implement it in every single thing, and take, the ease of how it makes things, right? Now, some people will say that AI is lazy. Give or take, I'll give you that. I feel like, it's a form of not being original. I'm old school. You see the grays on the face, right? And to be honest with you, I'm a creative. I started off doing art. I went to Duke Ellington School of the Arts, and one of the things that I always loved doing was drawing, right? That's what I went for visual artist. So I wasn't always into music, but music was always there because, I was in that type of setting. So I had the best of both worlds. I had my visual arts and I had my music at the same time. But one thing that you could not duplicate or replicate was originality. You had to draw your stuff. You had to, think. You had to sit. You had to come up with concepts, come up with ideas. And that's where the creative spark, I think, really draws its strength from. Not from the fact that, I would see people that would, like, say for instance, like, how can I put it? Like, I was inspired when I saw other people, right? So I get it. AI can be inspiring, so I give it that much. But as far as like direct birth of originality and things like that, like, AI can't do that. It has to come from a source. And just point blank period, you're not going to get that in AI. You're not going to get an original, sense of something that was generated from nothing, not from AI. and they're working to get to there. But look at how they're doing it. Like, they're taking creatives, they're taking content from everywhere and putting it in this melting pot, and then, you know, allowing the AI to then cipher and pull and do things from that. Like, even looking at, oh my gracious, even looking at some of the content I see on YouTube now talking about AI, like, it honestly gets on my nerve. Like, I don't even look at the content anymore because everything's so AI this, AI that. Microsoft, AI this. You know, even with music, when it comes to DAWs or things like that, AI this. Like, I'm hoping that, you know, when we even get new hardware, like, some of the hardware is going to be interesting how they implement this AI stuff, because it's coming. It's coming. But at the same token, like, what rate will we not push it to the brink of where it becomes overwhelming and then sap out the energy and the creativity and the spark, right? Like, I loved music when it had a certain spark to it, or when it gave you that feel of, God, I want to do something like that. Or, you know what I mean? Like, AI doesn't have feeling to me. It doesn't have human, what can I call it? Like a human passion to it. Like, you can hear the difference as far as music, right? When it comes to human and versus AI in music creation. Like, there's a certain passion that you're just not gonna get in AI creation. You can debate me on that, put in the comments and all that, but at the end of the day, you're gonna have a version of AI that just will be this, and then you have the human aspect that will always blow it out of the water. And granted, you know, it might take a little longer to get that, but that's the whole drive of it. Like, the heart, the soul, the actual feeling from the human aspect that AI just can't generate, and it's not. So as far as AI being on my channel, I did have a couple of, you know, like, Suno I did, but yeah, I'm not really interested because I like making my stuff from scratch. It's like a cook going in the kitchen and then you just cooking from scratch, knowing that your end product, right? Knowing that you put your all in all into it, whether it's good or bad. That's the whole kick. Whether it's good or bad, you put your all into it. AI, you just type a prompt, put it in, get out what you get from it, call it a hit or whatever you want to call it. But I don't know, man. This AI thing is just getting out of control. And granted, I guess I can just call this a rant, but as far as the human aspect versus the AI, you guys, we just got to do better. Try to find a sense of creativity that you can put yourself into, where you can be more creative, and use AI in a hybrid sense. Like, don't use it all the single, every single time, because it will get boring. It'll get boring real quick. And if you guys haven't checked out, I even talked about a video about creative fatigue, and I'll try to post it in this right here, but check that one out too, because even as a creative, we get fatigued, right? But we got to keep constantly looking for inspiration and things to help build us. And even in being a creative, you got to take a break, right? To mentally just build yourself back up, to get back to that place of where, you can be creative again. But at least do that, right? Take a break. Like, if you're not feeling creative, or if you feel like you can't do something, don't just hop to AI first. And again, I know I'm gonna have a whole bunch of stuff in the comments, and it's okay. It is okay, but that's my whole thing. So hopefully that addressed how I felt about why I don't do AI, because it was real weird when I got that, and I was like, I'm gonna do a real raw video of why I just don't do a lot of AI content. And I have a lot of friends, a lot of content friends that do AI, and shout out to them. And it's no slight to them, anything. So please don't take it that way. It's just, as far as me, I always want my channel to be one of the inspirational channels that would, inspire creativity. Because one thing I do see that is being pulled away from just the world itself is creativity, and the lack thereof, and not pushing people to be original no more. Like, it's the trends, following what people do. It's too much, man. We got to push people to be trendsetters and not trend followers. Another one's done. Another one in the books. You guys already know who it is. It's your boy Thesis. Peace. Out of here.